Man, this is pretty cool. I didn't realize how cold this could be. I think I'm getting addicted to this. But I wanted to read some of my older stuff. Let's see here. This is interesting. I think I'm just getting comfortable with the camera. It's been some time. Writers don't really like to get on camera that much at all. So this is kind of fun and different than what I'm used to. But I wanted to read some stuff that I wrote a while back. It's called Emotions, Infinity, and Beyond. Probably wrote this like 5 years ago from my website too. But here we go. Little trinkets bother you with emotions. True devotion of symmetry enacted. Escape through glaciers. What a panoramic view of motion. Bam! Stand up like energy convulsions. Array horizontal lines form the body form. Limited creativity. Singing lullabies to infinity and beyond. Beat a drum, interchangeable interaction. Kisses supply more stability to your eyes. Abstract thoughts form possibilities. Through decay, I rise to view. Poke fun and metaphor into a butterfly. Peekaboo! I will not see you at night. Darkness did not cream with light. Peace united dark and brought with it sight. Viewing merchants never supplied art. Why a rare occasion that we are all here to celebrate. One's creation with pure bliss. Hugs, kisses, and gentle breeze, please. So the finishing touches are electrical. And then I got some other stuff that I wrote. Slow it down. Well, first of all, I got to slow it down. But this is called Freedom to Be. Probably wrote this like 7 years ago. Slow it down. Rapture's taking a toll on the body movements. Life escapes into different progressive transfers. Liability under a sun. Emotions running wild like a gun. In the streets and under gestures of one's living moment. Nothing but a possibility of fluctuating and variable to assemble. Creation under the sky. Heartbeat under one eye. Sprinkle the progress so marriages never fail. It's a true foundation built on unity and understandings. I feel the love and you watch my feet dance to a rhyme, something that you have never seen before. Sun does not shine through as shyness sets in. No, I messed up. Sun does not shine through as shyness sets in, but I keep advancing to bring back the thrill that was gone but now present from freedom to be me. And it's so hard to do live because you basically can't mess up. You just have to keep going. It's kind of insane because if you keep getting into your head, it's just very confusing. And then it's fun because when you record things, you could keep doing it over and over again. It's so funny how that works. But this is all live. It's crazy. Never done this before. This one's called Perspective. A social reaction changes the hinges from the overview of life. Deem the responsibility for the hatred of your life. The perspective outlined in the air. Smell like freshness in the air. Flying above the sky. Feeling unlimited capacity to go high. Birds chirp in the mountaintops. Progress to see the unattainable with what becomes attainable. Not afraid of abandoning the view. Changes in the DNA is the visual truth. Chemistry reaction is interconnected chemical action. Let me say that again. Chemistry reaction is interconnected chemical action. Straight up, a third degree in the chemical attraction. Believe in your responsibility, not preaching, just believing, and own ability to feel it, such as musical note of infinity, never changes unless you give it power. So, this is me just talking about perspective and my way of viewing life and how I feel about things. And just, it's always changing, right? It's always changing, but the genetics aspect is always being a part of you. So if you come from a family that created an environment for you that's specific on maybe sports, you might gravitate towards that. But for me, I'm an immigrant. I came from Ukraine when I was very young. So I think I kind of started to understand life a little bit differently, and just seeing how other people live their life, and then adding it to kind of benefit mine. Maybe that's why I kind of became a writer, but really I became a writer to just to feel good about myself, to really understand who I was. Let me see what else, if there's anything else I could read. What is this? It's a while ago. I'm just reviewing my my writings on my blog. I've been trying to put it all together recently because I was laid off a few days ago from a job. I was in sales, and I was doing that for 2 years, a high tech company in the Bay Area, and I was just trying to figure out how. Well, when COVID hit, things really changed. Working from home has been fun and exciting, but at the same time, you just lose focus. I was doing well initially, and then the changes continued happening, and with the virus soaring like crazy, things are really changing quite quickly. So the writing is the only thing that you could feel good about, because you could always change it up. But now I'm live, and it's just so different. It's kind of crazy. Hi to the person watching me, one person watching me. Thanks for sticking around. This is a cool one, conformity. I think this is what I've been feeling when I think I wrote this like 5-6 years ago, but this has to do more with like mental health and the aspect of how you feel about your surroundings and in your environment. So yeah, it's called conformity. Mental fortitude, hating the eyes of the stairs. Peace no matter what might break down your walls. Smile into the fullest extent that you face muscles can go. Believe in the everlasting simplicity of no conformity. And I definitely believe in this. I definitely don't want to conform into anything, but just be myself and evolve as a human being. I'm an independent thinker, and I try to be an independent thinker. I see both sides and also the middle side, and I just try to really gravitate towards the middle side. I think that's been, godsend for me. It just makes things it makes so much sense when you kind of pick the middle side, but then you listen to everything around you, and you make your own decisions. This one is called aspiring. Always aspired to be a writer, always been writing. I won some competitions in high school in like 10th grade, and I just couldn't stop. And this is like an evolution of my writing. Now it's just technology changing so drastically. I tried Instagram, didn't really work to present my writing there. And then I got on Twitter, and that seems to be picking up. And so I'm like, oh, YouTube has always been there, but it's like, how do I use it properly? So it's kind of cool that I could do this live. It's really, really hard though, because you can't erase anything. It's just there in the cloud. Anyway, so this was called aspiring. Learning, so I wrote this about 7 years ago. Okay. Learning to take pleasures in the offering. Things don't always come out like they should. I start with a thought, then words follow. But where the heck do I put them down? Paper no longer applies to this equation. Technology has been the place to practice. Aspiring to become a writer, or perhaps I'm already one. And I've always been kind of questioning myself. Am I a writer? I'm not a writer. Everybody's a writer, right? Everybody writes, and everybody has journals and things that they write down on their phone. But it's like, how do you define what a writer is? And I think I'm still trying to find the answers to that, because I really don't know, which is cool. I really don't know. I think that's what is fun about writing, is that you keep writing, and then you read your writings that you wrote like 7 years ago, 10 years ago, and you go, whoa, like this is where my mindset was at. It's kind of cool. Oh, let me see. I wrote some fiction. I put it on Twitter. I think this one is called, what's a short story? Let me check this out. Let me try this. This is new stuff that I haven't been really doing that much, which is, short story writing, but I definitely have been trying to put more energy into it. So bear with me. I'm mostly a poet, but I'm trying to get into this kind of structure, I guess you could call it. But it's called Have a Drink. This is a Twitter version of flash fiction. Hey, grab a drink with me. Peter proclaimed to Cindy. Don't think that's a good idea, Peter. But why? Asked Peter. Because you know what happened last time, Peter? Cindy had to decline Peter. There was no reason other than hashtag you and me shorty, hashtag am writing, hashtag writing chat. The reason was confusing. It was not apparent with why she would refuse until we understand something about Cindy. Cindy was always not that into Peter. And one time that she agreed to have a drink with Peter, Cindy was having issues with her mental health. When we think about mental health, we think it might be short-lived, not realizing how long-term effects might cause damage to our bodies as well. I'm still confused with this explanation, but that's because hashtag ADHD, hashtag trying to write. That's because hashtag I am writing fiction. But nonetheless, Cindy was trying to have a pick-me-up moment, and Peter was simply there, a need that came from within, and the timing was just too perfect. Hashtag fiction, hashtag writing life. So yeah, this is something, I've been trying to do a little bit more, but it really does take a lot of time to kind of develop this. Here's another one. Oh, I think this was a writing prompt, I believe, or something like that, where we had to pick a word, I believe, and then we just had to write. But this one's called Are You Royalty? When I was in middle school, I remember a girl in class who was part of the Barmecide hashtag. Many of my classmates were afraid of her, but not me. Hey, Yasmina, I said one day. Is it true what they say about you? Yasmina had a confused look on her face. Hashtag VSS365, hashtag writing chat. Those two hashtags are very important on Twitter, so that's why I'm saying them, because it leads back to a subgroup of individuals. Anyways, I'm sorry for the interruption. Let's continue. So I looked at Yasmina, focusing on her eyes and trying to follow them. Eyes usually told part of someone's story. Yasmina looked directly at me, into my eyes. John, I am who you think I am. I got the chills. As the chills traveled throughout my body, I was trying to make sense with what I just heard, but I couldn't keep myself calm. Yasmina, you mean? Before I could finish, Yasmina interrupted and said, I'm one of them. Didn't you know? I was a young, inexperienced boy. So I dropped the interrogations and tried to laugh it off, but not Yasmina. Oh no, her eyes fully focusing on mine. I couldn't just sit there. So I raised my hand. Yes, John? Said Melissa, who was my favorite teacher. I need to go to the restroom, I blurted out with confidence. Melissa looked at me for a moment and said, Sure, go ahead, but don't forget the hall pass. As I stood up from my desk, Yasmina would not stop staring at me. As I was walking away with a hall pass in hand, I looked forward with my palms starting to sweat. Head held confidently up, but praying Yasmina would forget my question when I came back. Yeah, so that's that. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, I was just trying different things, different forms. Keep coming back to the aspect of poetry, though. It's dear to me. Let me see if there's anything else I could share on a poetry's sake. Need to write more. It's been some time. Let's see. Let me see this immigration story. Let me see if it's a short one, but immigration story. Immigration is my story, coming down from another story. Aren't these stories intertwined? Yeah, immigrated here at 9, and tried to make sense of everything. So making sense now with, having my own kid who was not an immigrant, who was born here. It's very, very interesting. Let me see if there's anything else I could share. Just looking through some of my notes. Maybe not. Maybe I should end here. All right, y'all. I'll be back later. Thank you for watching.